Tonight I'm going to talk about adoption and everything that follows with that. I'm going to start off with an interesting fact that I found. As stated by Adoption Journey on randomhistory.com, in one family in every 3 churches in the U.S. adopted a child. Every child in need of a family in the U.S. would be adopted. We are all connected to someone affected by adoption, and tonight I'm going to be your connection. Adoption can be domestic or international, which can lead to many positive and possibly some unforeseen events. All forms of adoption are important to me since I am adopted myself. I have walked through most of these experiences and I'm a part of these statistics. First, I'm going to start with the adoption process, deciding if you're going to have an infant or an older child, and that will help decide if you're going to go a domestic adoption route or an international adoption route. Then you need to decide if you want to go through a private agency or foster care. And the factors that you need to consider are wait time, degree of uncertainty, cost, and the age of the children. Also, closed or open adoption. Do you want to have your child have a relationship with the birth parents, or do you want to build your family without that? Next, there are 7 steps in the adoption process, and I'm going to walk through them. First, you need to accept the fact that you are adopting a child and you are not able to have your own. Next, you need to decide private or public, as I stated before. Also, you need to become an active family ready for adoption. You can't just walk in the door and say, I want to have a child today, and you get to take one home. You need to do a home study, you need to do an adoption planning questionnaire, and you need to build an adoption profile. A home study, basically, you're going to have someone come in your home and make sure that it is a safe environment to bring a child in. Also, the adoption planning questionnaire will basically test your background. You want to make sure that you are able to provide for this child, you have a safe home environment. And then after that, you build an adoption profile, which will take you into waiting for a child. Waiting for a child is the hardest part. Patience is the key. You never know when you're going to get that phone call saying that you are getting a child that day. You want to maintain a normal lifestyle while you're in that limbo period. Then you will communicate with the parents, the birth parents or agency that you are working with. Once you have found a child and you are ready to adopt, you will finalize the adoption, and once the child is in your home, afterwards you will have a post-placement contact where the agency will come in your home and make sure that it is a smooth transition for you as well as the child and it's a safe environment. A little more detail on domestic adoption, it's approximately $35,000. Wait time is less, you have about a year that you will have to wait for a child. And according to the latest research by National Council for Adoption, private domestic agency adoptions have risen steadily. International adoption is quite more expensive, takes 1 to 4 years, and international adoption has declined significantly over the past several years. There are a lot of other disorders that happen with adoption. There's attachment disorder, which is, according to the staff at the Mayo Clinic, a serious condition in which an infant or young child doesn't establish healthy attachments with parents or caregivers. Also, identity issues is something a child can suffer from, referred to as multiple personality disorder. ADHD deficit disorder, which is a chronic condition that affects millions of children and often continues into adulthood. And major depressive disorder is a possibility, characterized by at least 2 weeks of low mood that is present across most situations. My life has been blessed by my adoption. Adoption is more than just making a choice or picking up a child. It is a process that becomes a commitment with many obstacles and excitement involved. Children all over the world, domestic or international, long for family, love, and commitment. When making any decisions regarding to adoption, you have to ask yourself, why am I adopting? Being an adoptive child comes with potential psychological pitfalls. It's up to you to decide if you use them to become stronger or you let them overpower you. If I was still in Russia today, my life would be much different than it is today. Adoption gives every child a chance to become something great.